Bizzarp.
Hello and welcome to the Bizzarp Podcast, Washington's #1 geek culture show. It's episode 28 and my name is Davey. Come geek out with me. Instead of a topic, I'm going to talk about our glorious return. We've made some changes and we really hope you like them. I also have the Weekly Geek, which is formerly Geek News, and a new segment called Around Town, a rundown of stuff to do at the great shops and venues here in the area. As always, you can find this podcast and others at Bizzarp.com. That's Bizzarp.com. Subscribe to our show on YouTube. The link will be in the description below. Alright, so we took a little bit of time off. We had some personal issues come up, some technical issues. We also just kind of got a little overwhelmed with everything that was going on. And so we did a little restructuring. So we are going to just focus on this podcast, the Bizzarp Podcast. The other ones, like the Geek News, MTG Minutes, Speech Bubble, those are actually going to become segments in this show. Some of them are going to be weekly, like the Weekly Geek. Our new segment Around Town is going to be weekly as well. The others will be monthly or whenever the fuck we feel like doing them. One that I really want to bring back that we talked about, it was supposed to be its own show, was Indie Book Club, which we all buy a book from an independent author on Amazon, and the rule was had to have, I think, less than 100 purchases or something like that. It was a real independent. And after a month, we would give our book review. I want to bring that back. We're also going to bring back Speech Bubble as a segment with Mark and Amanda. So big changes. We're also going to be focusing on the local community here in Puyallup and Tacoma and Federal Way and possibly up to Seattle. And what I mean by that is we're going to be talking about local tournaments, local events. I'm going to try to interview some local shop owners and some people that I know that are influential in the local artistic community and the local geek community. I actually know some people. So I'm going to try to get some interviews there. We're also going to be going to events like the Jet City Comic-Con in Tacoma. That happens in November. I think it's early November. We're going to be there. Not going to have a booth because we don't have that kind of fucking money. But we are going to be there and hoping to make some connections there, meet some folks. But anyway, stay tuned. We have some great things set up for the future. We're going to be redesigning a lot, and we hope you like the changes. So let's move on to the Weekly Geek, which, as I said, used to be the Geek News. These are headlines from around the web. First off, there was a new movie announced for Adam West and Burt Ward Batman, the original 60s Batman, and it's an animated movie called Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders. It is going to be starring Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin, and it's going to come out on digital HD October 11th and on Blu-ray November 1st. And I'm going to put the trailer in the show notes. It's fantastic. Batman and Robin are on a fucking giant TV dinner tray on a conveyor belt going into an oven, and above the oven it says Giant Oven. It's fantastic. I totally look forward to this. I'm definitely buying it. Check it out yourself. The next Weekly Geek, I'm really excited for this. Marvel's Runaways is going to be getting a TV show. This is very early news. This was just announced that Hulu has picked it up. There's no word on director or cast, even none of that. But this is really fantastic because Runaways, if you don't know, was about a group of teenagers in the Marvel Universe who realize that their parents are a group of supervillains. And every year when they get together for this meeting that they have every year, their parents are actually meeting as supervillains and they're planning their moves and everything like that. And they run away from them, hence Runaways. And it goes from there. And they all have very interesting powers. One girl is telepathically linked to a dinosaur. It's a Deinonychus, something like that. It looks like a velociraptor. Another girl is just an alien. floats around all trippy. Nico, however, the leader of the group, she has the Staff of One, which is very powerful. It's a magical staff that can pretty much do any spell, but it can only do it once, and it only comes out when she's bleeding. It's very, very powerful, but it's a really cool series. It's going to be the showrunners are the creators of Gossip Girl and also the creator of the OC. So I'm kind of worried that it might be a little teen drama-y, which it was and it wasn't in the comics. I don't want it to be OC, or I don't know, one of those fucking shows, 90210. God, I'm old. Something like that with superpowers. That would be really lame. But I'm excited that it's coming to TV. Why Netflix, you ask? I don't know. They landed with Hulu. They might have gone to Netflix, and Netflix decided it wasn't going to really fit with what they're trying to do with the Defenders, and decided to pass on it. May just have been a difference in, I don't know. Anyway, Netflix didn't get it. Hulu picked it up. Next on the Weekly Geek here, we have Justice League Dark is being talked about again as a movie. And this is really exciting because it's going to include John Constantine. So, Constantine is going to be in the movies if this gets made. The reason why it popped up again is because it actually has a new director. The director who's supposed to be directing Gambit, Doug Liman. Doug Liman was supposed to direct Gambit, but now apparently he's dropped out of that and has been picked up to direct Justice League Dark. Now the team members of Justice League Dark include John Constantine, Dead Man, who is a guy who's dead and he gains superpowers as a ghost, Zatanna, Swamp Thing, and Etrigan, and also Jason Blood. So some very good characters in this. I'm excited to see John Constantine. I don't know if who's going to play him, but it would be really nice if they could get the dude from the TV show. But probably not going to happen because DC doesn't seem too interested in connecting their TV shows with their movies. But hopefully he does a good performance. As long as he's not fucking Keanu Reeves, I think we'll all be happy. Alright, so that wraps it up for Weekly Geek. Let's bring it around town. So, this segment focuses on events and tournaments in the area, if you're a gamer. And also we're going to be talking about sometimes concerts for local bands, stuff like that as well. So, first off, at Geek Girls Collectibles, which is on Mildred in University Place, it's 2 doors down from Odyssey 1. This Tuesday, August 30th, they have Conspiracy Draft Night for all you Magic players. It's a $12 entry fee. There will be a prize, but that'll be determined by how many players they have. It's at 6 p.m. Then at Tacoma Games, over on 6th Avenue, across the street from Crescent Moon, they have Magic the Gathering Commander League this Monday, August 29th at 6 p.m. And the entry fee is $5. Apparently, this actually has a point system that resets each month, and you get different prizes depending on how many points you have, which is pretty fucking awesome in my opinion. Now, here's a bit of a different one. Over at Stargazer Comics, Toys, and Games, over on 6th Ave again, they are starting up a book club. It's called Stargazer Book Club, and this week they're going to be focusing on Paper Girls, Volume 1. It's going to be Sunday, September 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. Now, let me just read the description of Paper Girls. It sounds very interesting. So it's by Brian K. Vaughan, who's a fantastic writer. He wrote Runaways, by the way. So here's the description. Brian K. Vaughan's Paper Girls Volume 1 is a nostalgic space-time warping mystery adventure of Reagan-era youth and angst. You are cordially invited to join us at Stargazer Comics for an evening of discussion focused on the bizarre events and characters surrounding Aaron, Mac, and the gang. Snacks and drinks will be provided, and following the completion of our discussion, we will hit one of our nearby establishments for drinks and continued banter. We hope you join us. So that sounds like a lot of fun. to get out and possibly go to some bars with some fellow geeks and talk about a good book there. So that's it for Around Town this week. Not a lot of events going on. Of course, there's always Friday Night Magic, your standard, Magic tournaments. I'm going to be doing, some Magic tournaments, but trying to focus on the other things here. Anyway, that wraps up our show. Let me just wrap it up with a quote, as we do every week. This quote was decided upon when we were going to do Suicide Squad. Fortunately, didn't get around to talking about that. So, here's the quote. You didn't like my show? Well, try this one. It's called Animals Attack People I Hate. It's a comedy. Harley Quinn. This has been the Bizzarp Podcast, a production of the Bizzarp Network. You can find this podcast and others at www.bizzarp.com. Until next time, stay safe, old chum.